Well, hello everyone. This is Jamie Silver with Herf Jones Yearbooks and Varsity Brands. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful winter break, some good downtime with family and friends for the holidays, and welcome to 2019. So for the first episode of the podcast here in 2019, we're going to do something a little bit differently. And to start, we are going to start out with 3 videos. 2 of them are similar to what I've shared in the past, where they're demonstrations of part of the eDesign program that I thought you might find helpful or useful as you work on your yearbook pages. The first video is actually a student-created video on yearbook sales and revealing the theme in a really dramatic way that really is, I just thought it was really well done, and I want to share it with you in case you wanted to use it as an example of something you might make for your school to boost your sales. And then at the end of this episode, we're going to do something new. And this piece of the podcast is something that's very different. It's not yearbook related, but it's something that's inspirational that I thought you might want to share with your student leadership team, your administration. It's very inspirational. I think you'll enjoy it, but I want to put that at the end, and that's how we'll close the episode. I want to give you a heads up so later you might jump to that for a different piece of it, because that's about 8 or 9 minutes long. But to start, we are going to start out with this video that I found really great on YouTube. It's about a minute long, and it's a great way to reveal the theme of the book in a really professional, well-made video, but not give away too much. Kind of like a trailer for a movie. So I'm going to share that here, and I'll be back in about a minute. I don't know about you, but I thought that was just really well done. And right at the end there, it brings people right to, the website to order their book online, and just really well done. So feel free to use that as a model if you're thinking about making something here in the new year. Now we're going to switch to a couple quick demonstrations as I usually do on the podcast. The first one, I know it's not exciting, but it's all about indexing, and this gives you a quick overview, about a minute and a half, of how eDesign starts to build your index for you for the proofread and then flow on the pages. So this one's about a minute and a half, and I'll be right back.
How does the index builder automatically find all of the possible entries? Here's how it works. When you run Index Builder, it scans your yearbook pages and photo library for sequences of 2 or more consecutive capitalized words and tags those items as potential entries for your index. Here are some examples of text that follows the pattern of 2 or more consecutive capitalized words. Mary Smith, Anne Marie Jones, Beta Club, Boys Varsity Basketball, Quick Trip Food Mart. Index Builder also locates and tags names with common name prefixes, such as day or law. Index Builder finds and includes as potential entries consecutive capitalized words it finds in the following places: text frames on pages, tagged names from the master list, topics come into the last name field, subtopics assigned in the latter come into the first name field, section names and topic combinations in the book view. To create entries for these items, you should apply both a section and a page topic to each page in the book view module. For instance, designating a page as belonging to the sports section and entering a page topic of varsity cheerleading will generate an index entry for sports, varsity cheerleading. For detailed directions and tips on each of these steps, check out the rest of the Index Builder videos.
Now, of course, I realized I said not exciting video, but honestly, if anyone in the room is listening, maybe a little older like myself, who's done indexing in the past, boy, the built-in tools here just really make indexing a breeze compared to the old days. So it is great, but I want to share that with you just as a reminder to work on your index all year. It's not something you want to wait until your last deadline, because it's already working for you in the background, as Adam demonstrated there, and building a database for you to review, proofread, modify as you go. So again, as he said, I have lots of other resources, and I can show you how to use it personally if you have any questions about it. But it's just something to keep top of mind as you want to work on your index early and often. Okay, switching gears. You may already know this, so feel free to jump ahead with the time codes below. But you can do photo in text within the program. It's one of those simple little tricks that I find is often overlooked, or when I do show it, it's like, wow, I didn't know eDesign could do that, so I want to share that here. Again, if you've seen this, feel free to skip ahead. But this one's about 3.5 minutes. I'm going to share that, and I'll be right back.
In this tutorial, we'll look at another of the cool graphic effects that you can do inside of eDesign, and that's placing photos inside of text. In this example, I have a headline set in a larger font size in sort of a thick, chunky font. And for placing photos in text, it's going to work best if you choose a thicker font set at a larger size so that you have enough of a shape that will allow elements of the photo to be seen through. So I have my text set here. In this example, I have the text set in AHJ Seriffic Bold at 100 points. You may notice if you go to the font size menu that the largest size listed is 72 points, but you can select the value and type in any value up to 127 points. In this example, I'll enter 110 points and hit enter or return on the keyboard. So I have my text set here, and I'm going to go up and select the text frame with the selection tool. Then I'll go over to the Object menu and choose Convert to Shapes. When I choose Convert to Shapes, it's going to take the live editable text and change it into the shapes or the forms of the letters. So now I have the paths that make up each of these letters. I'll reposition it slightly on the page. And now it's like an image frame, and I can scale it up or down. And if I hold down the Shift key when I scale it, I can make it larger or smaller while keeping the proportions the same. Now I can go over to my image library and find an image that I'd like to place inside this headline. In this case, I'm going to use this picture of the grass of the football field. It's going to work best when placing photos inside of text if you use a photo that has a texture or a pattern or lots of small elements, like a group of faces at the crowd at the football game, so that you can see individual elements through the different letter forms. So I'm going to use this picture of the grass. I'll click and drag it over and hover over the word Knights, or the form of the word Knights. You'll notice that when I hover over the shape of the letters, I get this blue highlight around the outside. If I'm not actually over one of the letters, you'll see that the blue highlight goes away. The image will only be placed in the letters if you have that blue highlight around the letters. So hover over one of the letters, get the highlight, then release the mouse button to drop the photo inside the letter forms. Now that I have the image inside, let's add a couple of other things to help it stand out. I'm going to select it, come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to add a stroke weight of about 2 points to this shape. And I'm going to change the color to something a little more vibrant so that it will stand out on the screen. You'll now see that it has this orange 2-point stroke around the outside of the shapes, and that's helping it to stand out a little more. I'm going to select it again and come down to the FX button and choose Drop Shadow to apply a drop shadow to the object to help it have a little bit more separation from the background. So it's a pretty simple process to put a photo inside of text in eDesign. Let's just review it quickly with this other headline element. I'll select it, go to the Object menu, choose Convert to Shapes. I'll reposition it just a bit here. Then I'll find the image that I want to use, drag it over, get the blue highlight, and drop it in. Once the photo's inside the frame, you can still manipulate it just like you would any other image in Image Frame. Double-click to enter Picture Manipulation mode, where you can scale and reposition the image inside the frame.
Again, you're probably familiar with that, but I just want to share the reminder about putting photo in text. It's really cool if it's used sparingly. Clearly, if you do it everywhere, it's overkill, but it can really add a nice pop to the book if you use it sparingly. Okay, with that said, again, welcome to 2019. We're going to do something new here. So those are the the video tutorials for today. And now we're going to do something new, and it's all about inspiration. And this might be something you share with and talk with student leaders, your administration. This is something that, as a company, we've partnered up with a person. His name is Kevin. You're going to see in a second here in a video, to share stories, and it's just really inspirational. So I'm going to share with you the first episode, including a little teaser video at the start that you're welcome to share. But these are available on our website, and I'd love to hear your feedback on what you guys think about this. Feel free to share with your administration, whomever within your school, because this is something we've done and invested in for you guys. So this is available. I'm going to close out the episode with this video. It's about 8.5 minutes, as you can see, but I'd love to hear your feedback. If it's something you guys like, I'll continue to share it here on the episode. But if you'd like to access this for your school on a more regular basis, please do let me know. It is a resource that we have available for you. So again, happy holidays, welcome back, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Kevin Atlas, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of students all over the country. I've gained perspective that not many have. I've witnessed schools that students actually like to go to. These schools aren't plagued by bullying and gossip. They're schools that have spirit, they have pride. Is this your school? Because it wasn't mine. For me, high school, it felt like a 4-year prison sentence. For the last several years, I've flown around this country to every single state as a motivational speaker, trying to uplift both faculty and students. I set out to make a lasting change and growth, and to my efforts, I achieved it. Helped a lot of people, but to me it wasn't enough. This is why I've collaborated with Varsity Brands to make this series for you. Believe in You is a 9-episode series where I will take you in the lives of outstanding individuals. A cancer survivor from St. Jude Hospital, Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. The Kohler family from Special Needs and Treats. World's famous stunt double and surfer, Noel Tsunami. My homie Brent from Dude Be Nice. Olympian Allison Schmidt, 4-time gold medalist. If you listen to these stories and you apply what you learned, your lives will change. I was born without a left hand. Essentially what happened is my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck twice and my arm got stuck in between the umbilical cord and my neck.
Because the cord is wrapped around the neck, it actually can end up being more of a major issue in which the brain suffers injury.
Although I survived, I was born into rough circumstances. My parents divorced when I was 4, like some of your parents. It was tough. I was in a split custody household situation and I didn't have much of a home structure. And to make matters worse, my dad was diagnosed with cancer.
He just first lost the ability to walk, and then he was laying in bed, and then he couldn't talk anymore, but he could hear, and he hallucinated a lot.
And when I was 10, he passed away. I watched him take his last breath in the living room of my house. I held his hand as he died, and it broke me. I was 6'4", going into 7th grade, a giant creature. Shaggy red hair, one arm. I was a sight for sore eyes, and I tried out for the team, and the coach cut me. He told me that basketball is a 2-arm sport and to try something else. I didn't have direction, I didn't believe in myself, but I am a strong believer that it just takes one leader, one mentor, coach, teacher to step up and just change your life, to ignite a spark.
Hey, I got a 6'9" kid, red-haired kid, ball of joy, would love to play basketball. He was going to play for this other team, but they said he wasn't good enough. So I'm like, 6'9" kid, I'll take him, man. I don't care what his skill level was.
And one day he came up to me in practice and he said, "Kevin, why don't you use that arm when you play?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Why don't you use that arm?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't have an arm. That's the whole thing, bro. Like, chill." And he's like, "No, man, that thing's a weapon." This was what I hated most about my terrible life. I hid it, I was self-conscious about it. I didn't even like looking in mirrors. I avoided them like the plague. I was so self-conscious about this thing, and this coach, he couldn't change my arm, he couldn't grow it out, but he found a way to allow me to accept it, to embrace it. Mentally, that's all it took.
He's tall and he's lanky, he doesn't look strong. He's got one hand, he looks terrible. And then I go and I block all their shots.
I didn't want to be a product of my circumstance, now I didn't have to. That's the first step. Every single one of you guys has a nub in your own way. It sounds insane, but you do. You have to learn to accept and embrace yourself. You have to learn to believe in you. If you do, everybody else will fall in line.
A high school basketball player in Pleasanton is getting a lot of attention these days.
Sometimes in life and in sport, there are special individuals who defy the odds.
Amador Valley's Kevin Loud plays on the Dons varsity squad, and he does it all with just one hand.
My senior year, the President of the United States heard about me. He was inspired by my story. He flew out on Air Force One to meet me. That night,
We really, really, really need to win this game, and this is huge. I got a lot of people I know are coming to it. I can't put any pressure on it, and I can't move my foot up or down.
and I broke my leg the same day.
And what's that mean? Is that hairline? Is that what they call it, hairline?
Mid-shaft proximal fibular fracture.
I lost all my scholarship offers, missed the rest of my senior year. I was broken. All I ever cared about was basketball, and it was ruined, and I was at this low peak, but you still have to find how to elevate, pick yourself back up. I ended up having to go to a military academy prep school, 5th year of high school. I didn't want to give up on my dream, my ambition to play basketball. I graduated military school, first in class, valedictorian. I graduated college in 3 years as an honor student, taking 40 credits a year. Stupidest kid in town. By the end of military academy, I became the first Division I basketball player. I'm on a full scholarship, played at Manhattan College in New York City.
We here at Manhattan College and myself would like to present you with that opportunity.
I went over to Asia, I played pro basketball. I got to share my story to hundreds of thousands of people out there and inspire and elevate them. You learn to believe in yourself and the world will fall in line. Today, I speak all over the world. I've been to almost every continent but Antarctica. And I get to do this series with you because I have this heart that bleeds for the youth of this country. Because we need to learn to lead. We need to elevate ourselves to be bigger part of something just so much bigger than ourselves. That's how this world changes. It starts with you. If not you, then who? Who's gonna step up? That's what I'm calling. I am Captain Hook and you are my crew. That's what this series is. I'm bringing some of the wisest, successful, most inspirational human beings on this planet into your classrooms for your benefit. These are the answers, the blueprints, anything you want, I'm providing them to you. We're speaking to you as if we're speaking to the high school versions of ourselves. This is knowledge, this is wisdom, this is everything. This is for you. Because we believe in you.
Believe in you!